Hello all you phenomenal people of the internet, hope you're all doing well and you're all safe and happy. We bought a VX Berlina Wagon, Nugget. She's a bit rough, but it was very, very cheap. It's silver, and let me go through and show you what the car is, what we're going to do with it and what the plan for it is, in case you haven't already figured it out by the title of this video. So yeah, this is it guys, VX Berlina Wagon. Got some factory wheels that have been painted black. Brakes on it are all pretty good. Front tyres are almost new, back tyres aren't bad. The rear bar is off it, and the rear bar Rio is off it as well. It looks like it had a tow bar on it, and they've taken that off before they've sold it because all this stuff's loose. But the rear bar and the Rio are in the back of the car. It's got a full stereo in it, a couple of 12-inch subs, which is loud. But yeah, the best parts of it are it has been manual swapped, which is good. So the gearbox in this is really good. It's nice and tight, doesn't make any noises. Shifter feels good. The clutch thrust bearing is quite noisy though, which isn't great. And also the clutch does slip if you get up it a fair bit. But the best part of it is, let's open the bonnet here. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The bonnet release just broke. Sure. It's been L67 swapped. So it's actually got, not just top swapped, it's actually got a proper L67 in it. I'll have to have an argument with that bonnet and show you what's going on under there. It's a relatively standard L67. It's just got a set of extractors on it. And that's about it. Still got a stock pulley and everything. Does have a couple of issues. The water pump's got a very slight leak. Rocket cover gaskets are leaking. Looks like valley gaskets are leaking. All that stuff I'll address and do a couple of, do a whole bunch of maintenance stuff on that engine, as well as just a couple of performance things, just a couple of little things. I'm not planning on changing the pulley. I'll just run standard boost for now, because that engine and that gearbox are going to go in that. So the plan basically is to do all of the repairs and upgrades. There's not going to be many upgrades, but most of the repairs to this setup while this engine and gearbox are in the car. I'll probably end up putting a clutch in it, and I'll also refit that gearbox while it's in the car, so we can just make sure everything runs and we can test it all and make sure it all runs and drives as it should. And then we'll pull engine and gearbox out as one unit. That's the plan anyway. Pull engine and gearbox out of that as one unit, then drop that assembly into that. I've already got an ECU on order from Mace Engineering, so I spoke to Steve, told him what I'm doing and what the engine's going to have, and yeah, he's hooking me up. The reason why I'm only going to run stock boost though is the more boost you run, the more heat you generate. The more heat you generate, the more the chances of risk of something going wrong, I guess. So that's basically the plan, because we're going to be leaning on this thing a fair bit, being a drift car. So yeah, so as far as the Calais goes, a few things have changed on this since you've seen it. Nothing too massive. It's got some new graphics on the side of it, which is that. I've done some work to the hydraulic handbrake. Cat. Yeah, so what I've done is I've rotated the calipers left to right for the hydraulic handbrake. Reason being, they do sit on an angle facing down slightly, and the bleeder was at the front. So trying to bleed them up, I was always having to unbolt one of the bolts of the caliper to pivot the caliper up to get the bleeder to the high point. So anyway, they're rotated left to right. It's got some new Bendix Ultimate pads in the hydraulic handbrake as well. And this thing did have an issue with drag in the handbrake. Ended up finding the issue was the lever, being the cheap one that I had. So it's actually got a better handbrake lever in it now, which is not completely finished. It's mounted and the line's connected, but I need to figure out what I'm going to do for a reservoir. I've just got a bolt sitting in there for now. So just got to get a reservoir on there and bleed it up, and then that's done. But the biggest change is now it's got intrusion bars. So I did them myself with the new rules you have to have for drifting. You have to have side intrusion bars if you want to tandem or take passengers. Before, you only had to have a half cage. So we went down to the local steel guy, got some chrome moly, the same stuff as what these bars are made from, and I just incorporated the same design with like doing the sleeved mount, like what the cage has in other spots as well. So yeah, just basically did that and mimicked it, looked up the rules of how long they need to be and how they need to mount and all that. They go through the floor. So yeah, so that's that. But anyway, I've got a bit of time this morning. I've got about 2.5 hours, so I want to just start doing a couple of things on this. You only picked this up last night, so yeah, let's just get into it. Oh, it's the German type. Anyway, so as I mentioned before, a lot of the things we're going to do to this engine before we drop it in are just like more maintenance things that I know that are common on Ecotechs and L67s, things that can essentially ruin your day if they do go wrong. The first thing we're going to address is the fact that this water pump is leaking a little bit. So we're going to go through and put a new water pump on it. I've just already drained the coolant out of it last night. So I just popped the bottom hose off and dumped it all out. So what we basically need to do is pull the two belts off, the blower belt and the belt for the accessory drive belt, or the serpentine belt. We need to undo the bolts on the front of the water pump, and then we need to remove this pulley assembly to get to the bolts for the water pump. I want to try and delete this pulley. I did that on the Ecotech. I'm going to try and do it on this too. I don't know how I'm going to go about deleting it with the supercharger. Yeah, these belts are a bit cracked, but that's okay. We'll change them because obviously we're going to we've got an aircon delete on the Calais, so we won't need the aircon compressor on this either. So yeah, we'll just go through and get into it and see how we go. Alrighty, so I took the twin pulley off that was down there. Also took the pedestal mount off, which is just held on with 3 13mm bolts. Because I am going to be deleting that aircon compressor, as I said, so I shouldn't need to run that mount, hopefully. So now we can get to all of the bolts for the water pump. We've got these 4 13s on the outside, and then we've got 3 10mm and across the top and 1 underneath, or actually they're 3/8 technically. So yeah, she is a bit leaky there. I did wash it down yesterday, but it's also a bit noisy and a bit stiff to spin too. So we'll get this water pump off. All right, so I've got the water pump off, sitting down there. Got it all cleaned up. I just used my little buzzy pad thing there to get it all cleaned up and looking schmick. And yeah, so that's about it really. I'll thought I missed a bit there, but no, we're good. So now I'll go through, unbox the new water pump and get it all bolted on. Cool beans, new water pump is on and got the pulley on as well. So that's all looking good. Speaking of pulley, the next thing I'm going to do is address some of these pulleys around the place. So I'm going to swap this one over. It's a little bit noisy. The Calais actually has a new tensioner pulley on it for the serpentine belt. This one's not horrible, but we have a new one on the other car, so we'll swap that over. I want to see if I can replace these blower pulleys as well. So, well, this is a Yardler pulley for the serpentine belt. That's the Yardler pulley for the blower belt, and that's the tensioner pulley for the blower belt. So I want to go through and see if I can get a bunch of new pulleys for this. So I'm going to go down to the parts shop, see if I can get those 3, and I'll swap this one over with the Calais one off the Ecotech. Alrighty, we have had some success. So I swapped that one over from the Calais. Got a new idler for the blower belt, got a new idler for the serpentine belt. The only one I couldn't get was the adjuster for the blower belt. They've got to order that in, but they are quite expensive. So I don't know, we might address that down the track or we might leave it. Worth noting though, that both of these ones do have reverse thread bolts. Also worth noting as well with the water pump, these 4 13mm bolts, I meant to tell you before, they all go into water jackets. So make sure you put a bit of sealant on those bolts when you bolt them back in. Alrighty, on to the next. Alrighty, so I went back down to the parts shop around the corner to go belt hunting. Forgot to take the supercharger belt with me, so I'll have to suss that one out later. But I did find a belt to run all of the accessories without that pedestal mount down there. So if you have an L67 and you're doing an aircon delete, the part number for the belt is a 6PK2200. So that's that, but I am about to pull that belt back off in a sec because I'm going to do some other stuff on the front of the engine. But the next thing I'm going to do also on the front of the engine is I'm going to replace this oil pressure switch. This oil pressure switch was leaking and I want to replace it with this contraption that's out of the Calais already. So this gives me the ability to run the oil pressure gauge inside the car. And these sensors are cheap enough, so I ended up just buying a new one and screwing it into the motor on the Calais for now. So we'll get that changed over real quick. Cool, that is swapped over. Obviously nothing connects onto that because that cable is currently in the Calais. So yeah, that's that job done. Next thing I'm going to do on the front of the engine is I'm going to replace the crank angle sensor, the front crankshaft main seal, and I'm also going to put a new cam angle sensor in it as well. I've done these several times. You guys have seen me do them before, so I'm not going to film too much of it. I'll just show you when it's all apart. But yeah, it's basically, you've got to pull the intake off, the upper radiator cover off, take the radiator fans out, then we can get the rattle gun onto the main bolt, get the puller on, get the harmonic balancer off, and then go through and do everything. So got everything off the front that we need to get off. So here we have the cam angle sensor, that is the crank angle sensor, looking crusty, and there's the front seal also looking crusty, and you can see it's starting to leak as well. So that's that. I've got the plastic cover that goes around everything all cleaned up. I've got the harmonic balancer cleaned up. I've got the bolt cleaned up. So now I've got to go through and change that seal, crank sensor, cam sensor, and reassemble. Sweet, those 3 bits are done. Cam sensor, the front crank seal, and the crank angle sensor. All right, we'll jam it all back together. Alrighty guys, it's a few days later and we're going to do just a couple more little things on this thing. As you can see, I haven't organised a belt for the supercharger yet. I do have a couple coming which should be here today, hopefully. So we can try and find out what's going to happen there. But I just wanted to do rocker cover gaskets today, so I've already pulled the intake pipe off, as you can see. So these were, well, this side was leaking, this side wasn't, but we're going to do both just because we can. So I've also done these before in videos, but they're pretty straightforward. You've just got 6 bolts per side. They're a 3/8 bolt Imperial. So you've got 2 in the middle, 2 at the, oh sorry, 4 in the middle, 2 there and 2 there, and then 1 on each end. So you've got 1 hiding down there, 1 hiding down there. And I'm hoping we'll be able to get the rocker cover off without pulling the throttle body off. That'd be good, but let's give it a go, see what happens. Alrighty, got the rocker cover off. Did have to take the throttle body off, and it was loose as anything, so cool. Looking inside the engine, damn, she's actually pretty clean. Looks like this thing may have had some love in its life. So that's pretty good. So anyways, rocker cover's here. I'm just going to clean up that mating surface where it goes, throw a new gasket on that, bang it all back together. All right, passenger side is all back together. It's actually quite late in the afternoon now. It was about 5.5 hours ago when I was stuffing around with that. But anyway, it's all back together now. So now I'm just going to quickly knock out the passenger side one as well. We'll get that done before we knock off for the night. And yeah, that might be it. Also, I was stuffing around with the belt for the supercharger. If I had just looked what other people had done on forums and stuff, I would have saved myself a lot of heartache with all these different size belts. I found a belt size that would fit, but yeah, it was rubbing across the water pump pulley. So I am going to need to reinstall the pedestal mount and the twin pulleys down there, and I will have to get a new idler pulley for down there too for the supercharger belt, because yeah, the one for the supercharger is stuffed. But anyway, it is what it is. We learn. So anyway, I'm just going to do this rocker cover gasket for now. Rightio, driver side is off. Same thing, it looks pretty clean in there. All looking good. I did have to drop the alternator down. There are going to be jobs on this which will be double handling, as I said before. Like that alternator will have to come off again when I pull the manifold off to do the lower inlet manifold gaskets. But yeah, we're just doing it bit by bit. Done. Rocker covers back on. All done. Put the pedestal mount back on, and now the serpentine belt hits that. So I am going to have to completely revisit this whole serpentine belt layout thing to delete the aircon. But I'm over it for tonight, so that's it. Got the belt sorted. So ended up biting the bullet and buying 2 more pulleys. I'm sick of spending money on pulleys and faffing around with these belts. It's taken way longer than it needed to. So yep, 6PK2220 is the part number of the serpentine belt to not go around the aircon. Any Google search would have shown you that. Don't know why I didn't do that first. And it's just a standard belt for the supercharger. This tensioner is not holding as much pressure as I'd like, but they are quite expensive for that assembly. So I'm just going to pretend that it's okay. So yeah, that will basically do us for the first part of this video. Thank you everyone for watching, and Jason.
Hello.
Hope you all enjoyed this video. yeah, still got a long ways to go with this thing, with things that we need to get done to it, but considering I've only owned this car about a week, I think that is quite a lot of progress. So if you want to see more on this build, please remember to like and subscribe. And again, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.